Plaintiff, Justin Vernon.
On August 17th of 2008, I, the plaintiff, Justin Vernon, arrived to work at the law office of Mike Angelo to find my boss and CEO of the company, Mike Angelo, in my office. This was rather odd, as most often, the only contact Mike Angelo made with any of his employees, including me, was at the company-wide Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoon meetings. I specifically remember him saying how good of a job I had been doing in the office, and how proud of me, and how proud of the numbers I was bringing in. He then told me if I kept up my sales numbers, that I could have a promotion from partner to senior partner. He then very clearly told me the promotion, along with a minimum of $10,000, would come in the next year as long as my numbers were best of the partner status. That was our first meeting, and I came away from that conversation thinking I was going to be getting a raise, as long as I kept up my hard work. Over the course of the next year, I managed to remain at the top of the partner list for sales the whole year, something I worked very hard to achieve. When I stopped Mike as he was leaving one of the meetings, I asked him if my promotion was going to happen anytime soon. He looked at me and said that I was not going to begin getting promoted. He told me even if my numbers were the best of the company, which they were, he still wouldn't ever promote me. He told me even if he did promise me something, it didn't matter because it was in words.
Defendant Mike Angelo.
I, Mike Angelo, agree that the past statement made by the plaintiff, Justin Vernon, was fair. I did come into his office on August 17, 2008, and I did it to congratulate him on how well he had been doing. I told him if he kept up the hard work and stayed as our top partner, I would promote him next year. I did not, however, get a signed document for this contract to be made on. When Mike asked me in August of 2009, I was shocked at such a question. Although I remembered our talk, I figured since I never had him sign a document or contract about this promotion, I would be fine. Mike is a good employee, but I would rather have him as a partner. Being promoted to senior partner is, after all, in mine and the board's ultimate control, according to my company's handbook. Even if I told him he was to be promoted, it was just me talking. I shouldn't be obligated to do anything. The only ultimate reason I did it in the first place was to give him encouragement for the future.
Plaintiff, Justin Vernon.
I left my office and called a good friend, who proceeded to tell me about the implied employee contracts. He told me that an oral contract is just as good as a written one when reasonable promises are made, and all obligations are met. After talking with him, I feel like I was unfairly treated by my boss, and should receive my promotion and pay raise. I was promised a raise and promotion in the form of an oral contract, if I managed to stay at the top of the books for a whole other year, which I did. I should be given my job back along with the promotion, as I was promised. Any reasonable third party would and should agree that both are deserved. By Mike Angelo not agreeing to this, I feel like he broke the implied contract that we made.
Judge Pablo Martin.
I, Judge Martin, find on the side of the plaintiff, Justin Vernon. He showed not only that he deserved what was promised him by remaining at the top of all partners in the firm, but the fact that Mike Angelo, his boss at that time, made it clear with certain criteria met, he would receive more pay and a higher place in the company. It was clearly implied by the defendant that he made those statements. However, he chose to err on the side of ignorance and forgot what was expected of him with the continued success of the plaintiff. Therefore, under the laws of implied contracts, I find for the plaintiff Justin Vernon for his place as senior partner as well as the $10,000 raise promised him on August 17, 2008.